Okay, this is how to do these problems out of the Module 5 packet. 5, 6, the Go problems. These ones, they're having you graph already, ready to go, slope-intercept form, versus these tougher ones. Oh no, with algebra that you need to do before you could even think about graphing it. Alright, so based on what I've been teaching you, this first one here, again, that first number, that -4, tells you where to put your very first number, either up or down this y-axis line. This is the x-axis. That 3, that number in front of x, that is this line's slope. And then slope, remember, is always made up of rise over run. So if I take a look at that 3, that number right here in front of x, made into slope numbers, rise and run, tells me from -4, right 1, up 3, right 1, up 3, right 1, up 3. Always be able to go the other direction. That inequality tells me it's going to be solid because of that equal line. And then this is less than. So less than means below the line. So when I draw my line, solid line because of the inequality, and less than represents all of these coordinates on the line or below less than. Alright, next problem in green. 3 on the y-axis. Oops, in red. Sorry. That number now I look at in front of x. After I get my starting number, I look at that number in front of x. If it's not a fraction, I make it to a fraction. But again, remember that first number 3 tells me where on the y-axis to put my first point. That number in front of x tells me from there where to go. Right 1, down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1, down 2. Step, stair step the opposite way. Up 2, left 1. This inequality, another solid one. Not dotted. That next one over, dotted. Solid. This inequality is another less than, the one that looks most like an L, opening away from the Y, less than, below. So all of these coordinates underneath that solid line or on that line itself are good to go. This one, -3 is where I start. The number in front of x is 4, so that made into a fraction. Right 1, up 4, right 1, up 4, right 1, up 4, left 1, down 4. Dotted line. Best you can. And then this is more than. More than is above. For these lines where it's almost more vertical, harder to see which side is above. If I have a line nice and flat, easy to see this is above and this is below. But when your line is more vertical like this, it's tougher for people to see that really above this line is up here. People resist that because that's where all the negative numbers go on your graph. But yep, that is more than that graph, more than 4x minus 3. All right, these next ones definitely tougher because you cannot graph those as is. All of those on the bottom here are not in slope-intercept form. You have to solve those for y before you could even think about graphing. All those other ones were solved for y, good to go. But for 19 here, I'll do the work right here. 19, this math, solving for y, is a crucial skill you need to know how to do. First of all, don't put an equal in there. All right, how to solve these for y. Here we go. First thing you're going to do is get rid of that x term by doing the opposite. If it's plus x, subtract 3x on both sides. Do the opposite. Don't subtract 12 minus 3x. Those are unlike terms. You can't subtract them. You could write it like this, though. The -3x first, and that 12, since it's positive, positive 12 last. And now your next step, dividing everything by 4. Not just the left side by 4, but every single thing over on the right side by 4 too. Everything by 4. These 4's canceling. Leaves that y by itself. This yucky fraction isn't too bad really for graphing. It's right 4 down 3. Right 4 down 3. 12 divided by 4 gives me the y-intercept. Now it's ready to graph. Now y is by itself. That first number 3 tells me where on the y-axis to go. Now it's solved for y. I know my slope is right 4 down 3. Right 4 down 3. Right 4 down 3. Up, can't go anymore that way. Up 3, left 4. Up 3, left 4. I could go that way though. And then my inequality dotted because that inequality does not have the equal line under there. And then that inequality is less than shade below. So tricky. Solve it for y first. Get that y isolated. Now with that y all by itself, now I could look at the y-intercept at 3, where it's not 12. And then I could look at that slope, which is really negative 3/4. Some people might mistakenly think, oh, it's a slope of 3, a y-intercept of 12. Nope. Can't look at any of that until you get it solved for y. All right, let's do the next two. If I had to solve 20 for y, here I go. 6x plus 8y. That is less than or equal to 24. First step, get rid of that x. If it's plus 6x, subtract it. That would have been negative 6x. I would have added it. Bring the 8y down. Inequality down. Don't subtract 6 from 24. A lot of people are tempted to do that. Don't write it 6x minus 24. There's no way that that 24 is negative. It's positive. Divide by 8. Cancel. Uh-oh. Might need to reduce. 6 over 8. Not many people are going to write negative 6 over 8. 24 divided by 8, easy 3. But this 6 over 8, we don't really want you to go all the way over 8 down 6. We want you to reduce it down to an equivalent fraction that's smaller. So reducing it means dividing top and bottom by the same number. How about a 2? Because if I divide that by a 2, that whittles that slope down into negative 3 over 4, but guess what? That is equivalent. You could use over 4 down 6, or you could just go over 4 down 3, same slope. So this one, positive 3, over 4, down 3, up 3, left 4, up 3, left 4. This, oh man, see how I hacked it up? Even me, the math teacher. Don't change it magically and put an equal in there. Look at what happens. Even seasoned math people could do that. Watch your symbol. Less than or equal to solid. Less than shade below. All right, one more. And if I'm seeing this pattern, I bet it's going to have the same slope, negative 3/4, but let's find out. All right, 21. Solve it for y. Take away that 5x. Bring that 3y down. Negative 5x plus 15. Divide everything by 3. That y by itself. That slope is good to go. Negative 5/3. I could graph that. We'll almost put an equal in there. That means right 3, down 5. 15 divided by 3, just put 5. All right, and graph it. 5 on the y-axis. Over 3, down 5. Over 3, down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Solid line. Less than, solid line, less than, below. Looks like none of those were more than. All right, so again, if it's solve for y right away, like these were, use your y-intercept to put that first point, use your slope to figure out where to go from there. Let the inequality tell you how the graph looks. If it's mix-up of x and y, don't graph it as is. People will be baited into thinking, oh, y-intercept's 24, slope is 6. Nope. Solve it for y first before you graph it. Crucial skill. Good luck.